Alright, Shalom. First and foremost, I'm going to start this lesson off by giving all the praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bashim, Yahweh Shai, Bashim, Rakakudash, double honors to the apostles and elders, a great millstone. Honors to all the brothers who are fervently pushing the word in sincerity and in faith, and Shalom to all the sincere believers. Now, this lesson is going to be based on this New York City flooding that trapped semi-trucks, submerged multiple vehicles on Queens Highway. So through the Spirit, I'm going to read this article, get some precepts, and Lord's will, you're edified. It says torrential summer storms battered the Big Apple on Thursday, trapping an LIRR train filled with passengers and submerging cars on a Queens highway in a travel nightmare that hampered the evening rush. Flood water soaked the iconic Grand Central Station's platform, cascaded in dramatic waterfalls inside Brooklyn's J Street Metrotech, and burst from the walls in the 7th Avenue station in Park Slope, wild video showed. An LIRR train got stuck on the tracks for several hours near Bayside Station in Queens, forcing firefighters to use ladders to help travel-weary commuters evacuate, according to separate footage. That I was scared at first. About 15 minutes after we stopped on the tracks, all the lights went off. That's when I got a little scared and went, oh boy, something's going on, recalled Jessica Grant, a Stony Brook resident who was heading home after a trip to Lake George. Grant was sitting in the second car and was able to trek to the front of the train and see the track covered by water. Another passenger added that the crew kept promising a rescue engine that never came. A third passenger, who said she experienced claustrophobia and had double vision, started to panic once the cars started to heat up. Said, it's still scary. I don't have depth perception and I have double vision. It's scary and it was getting hot, she said. To add insult to wet injury, a power outage at a Manhattan subway station caused delays on multiple trains as commuters desperately tried to flee home amid the storm. The roadways above ground weren't spared either, and as the skies opened up with a vengeance in the late afternoon, Governor Kathy Hochul and Mayor Eric Adams issued emergency declarations urging New Yorkers to stay home to avoid the flooded streets and inundated subway stations. The Clearview Expressway in Queens was left underwater, trapping a semi-truck and several cars. Wild video showed two vehicles almost completely submerged, an SUV stranded under an overpass with its trunk open, and the 18-wheeler with water up to its cab doors. The footage also showed a pickup truck hauling a small vehicle attempting to ford the murky waters that appeared to be over 3 feet deep in certain spots. The FDNY and the NYPD Emergency Services Unit crews raced to the flooding near Northern Boulevard after reports of occupants trapped inside submerged vehicles. Those inside the stalled cars made it out safely, FDNY officials said, though it wasn't immediately clear if they were rescued or escaped under their own power. The Clearview was subsequently closed in both directions at Northern Boulevard. One MTA bus in Brooklyn inexplicably had storm water flood its center aisle, leaving commuters confounded and lifting their feet to avoid them getting soaked. They need traffic agents over here, the person recording the growing puddle on the bus said. It is flooded. Flooding also prompted closures of the Long Island Expressway, the Cross Island Parkway, and the Staten Island Expressway. New Jersey likewise was put under a state of emergency, with 3 counties in the southern Garden State put under a tornado warning, according to the National Weather Service. So air travel turned into a nightmare as well. All flights at the 3 main Big Apple area airports were delayed for up to 3 hours as the torrential downpours wreaked havoc. The city remains under a flood watch until Friday morning, with forecasters calling for up to 5 inches of rain. Isaiah 29:6. Thou shalt be visited of the Lord Yahweh of hosts with thunder, and with earthquake, and great noise, with storm and tempest, and the flame of devouring fire. And clearly that's what's happening. These torrential storms, torrential rainstorms that are resulting in a lot of flooding. Airports getting flooded, or at least the runway anyway. Different highways getting flooded. Sometimes entire neighborhoods get flooded. Roads have to get shut down. The subways get flooded. People have to get rescued. Just so much chaos from these storms. Isaiah 28:2. Behold, the Lord hath a mighty and strong one, which has a tempest of hail and a destroying storm. As a flood of mighty waters overflowing shall cast down to the earth with the hand. And the Lord sent that storm, that torrential rainstorm that resulted in all of that flooding. And this is no surprise, because this is exactly what happens in New York when it rains a lot. It's just a lot of flooding. But this is happening more and more often, which in and of itself is a sign of the times. Second Timothy 3:1. This know also that in the last days perilous times shall come. And when you look up the definition of perilous, it means full of danger or risk. And with these storms, these tempests, the fires, and the earthquakes, just those things alone make these extremely dangerous times. And these storms and tempests are hitting a lot harder, happening more frequently, just like with the earthquakes and the wildfires. And these are the things that the men of the Lord have been warning people were going to be taking place. But nobody wants to heed those warnings. So now people got to find out the hard way. Psalms 83:14. As the fire burneth a wood, and as the flame setteth the mountains on fire. Verse 15. So persecute them with thy tempest, and make them afraid with thy storm. And that's exactly what the Heavenly Father is doing, dishing out these storms and tempests. And with this storm that recently hit New York, caused all this flooding, a lot of people were made afraid. A lot of people said they were scared. Because the power, there were power outages, there was flooding, people were trapped. It was getting very scary for a lot of people. Hebrews 10:31. It is a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the living power. And this was just yet another example of that. Nobody was having fun A lot of people were very scared. And the Lord is only going to bring more judgments upon the earth that make people afraid, make them fear. Psalms 9:16, the Lord Yahweh is known by the judgment which he executeth. The wicked is snared in the work of his own hand, Higgaion Selah. Yeah, and these powerful, destructive, and oftentimes deadly storms are the judgments of the Lord. There is no getting around it. There is no getting away from it. This is just how the Lord chooses to judge certain places. Torrential rain, flooding, lightning, hail, tornadoes, hurricanes, earthquakes, wildfires. This is all done through the power of the Heavenly Father Yahweh. Like it says in Baruch 4:32, miserable are the cities which thy children serve. Miserable is she that received thy sons. And these cities are becoming increasingly more miserable because of the constant judgments that the Lord is pouring out upon them. And it's only going to get worse from here. So, for all you sincere brothers and sisters, just stay prayed up, continue to fear the Lord, continue to be circumspect as well. So, with that, I'm going to wrap it up here. Closing, I want to give all the praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakudash, the Wadi Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, for putting his spirit on me to do this lesson. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Honors to all the brothers who are fervently pushing the word in sincerity and in faith. Shalom to all the sincere believers. Hope you all stay strong, stay safe, stay fervent, stay circumspect, stay prayed up. Adawan Ratazah. Till next time, Shalom.